Hello and welcome to another update video on Ethereum. We are looking at the daily time frame here for Ethereum. Quick reminder that we're still looking for higher prices on this chart in the C wave to the upside, which can take us above $4,600. And for now, this C wave, it might have started, but the evidence is very, very thin. That situation hasn't really changed since the last week or so. So I would not rule out another test of support. I actually think that is quite likely, given that Bitcoin is currently stretching into resistance and could, if you watch the Bitcoin video, then you know that, and could give us a bit of a dip before we actually get a breakout to the upside, for example. So yeah, I will not rule out that the market is in a larger, let's say, in a larger correction already, and that we are just pulling back once more maybe in the B wave, and this is simply a more complex, a more complex A, B, C structure. I'm not, let's say, predicting that, but on the smaller time frame, there are important levels that will tell us that. It doesn't matter. I mean, those of you who are really trading the pullbacks, as I often teach, using a triangle method, would have already found a small entry here maybe, pick the position. I mean, if you do that or not is always up to you. All I can do is share with you general best practice from an Elliott wave trading point of view, how to find pullback setups and trades, how to enter positions, and I can share with you the areas where there should, at least from an Elliott wave point of view, be a good reward to risk ratio, and where the market should show a reaction. Now, of course, as I said, A-B setups have a lower quality, you can say, than a 1-2 setup. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on the larger pattern we're dealing with as well. And this here is not a great pattern. The Ethereum chart moves in a larger diagonal pattern, best I can tell. That is not clearly bullish. It's also not bearish, but it means it will be a bumpy ride to the upside. I think you can confirm that by just looking at the chart and also by just experience, right? If you followed the channel here and if you followed the Ethereum chart throughout this cycle, then you know this is a bumpy ride. Deep pullbacks, deep corrections, then a sharp rally and another quite sharp pullback. And then yesterday we had on the micro level quite a small but sharp rally as well. So it's quite bumpy at the moment, and that is because we're not dealing with clear impulses. You could argue that maybe this move up from the 6th of April low is, or 7th of April low is actually a local impulse, which could be wave A. Then this here is now a B wave, which, to be honest, I mean, it's possible the B wave completed. It's a 3-wave move down. But if you compare the pullback that started on the 11th of June here around $2,890, if you compare that with the duration of the pullback into the Sunday low 22nd, this was just very, very short and swift compared to the rally that happened, and took over a month, really, a couple of months. Yeah? So 2 months versus 2 weeks, I'm not sure. That's why I'm highlighting, look, we might get another leg down. That would be very much in line with what I'm tracking on the Bitcoin chart anyway, in both counts that I'm tracking there. So it would not be a surprise, let's say it like that. Looking at the shorter time frame for Ethereum, we have seen some choppy price action over the last few days again. What we're dealing with here is still a potential structure in which we might get one more upside extension. I shared that with you yesterday. Difficult to read nanostructures here, but overall the situation is unchanged. We do have something that we can already call a 5-wave move up. Okay, from the June low here, 22nd of June low, it might already be 5 waves up. We just formed a new high here. I can call that already, hold on. I can already call that 5 waves up, yeah, question mark. So it might have topped already, and we might be in the process of starting that pullback. But again, it takes, first of all, a break below micro support here between $2,441 and $2,473. But it doesn't even look like it wants to hold. So as you can see, this is all corrective and overlapping price action. There's nothing impulsive about it. And if we start to break below micro support, that is our signal that the bears are starting to gain control. And then if we also get a break below that red line here at $2,380, could be a good indication that we finally started the wave 2 pullback. The question is then, okay, what would be our support region? It is defined here. If I measure that, this would be our standard support, not necessarily a target, but the standard support area. Hold on, I need to add the 78.6 retracement. So if we get a break below upper micro support, first signal over top, but because we're then falling, just simply falling back into the range, we also want a break below 2,383 for further confirmation we actually have topped and start here that wave 2 or B pullback. So yeah, that's currently what I'm tracking on this chart. And then when we get into this region, it's important we are holding $2,200 to keep the upside scenario alive. Again, if you now get confused, this is simply the scenario in which the price could have bottomed already on the 22nd of June. I just told you on the larger time frame that I would not be surprised if we break below this support area. So it's about watching this support area, not assuming we will find support there. This is a pretty big mess here to the upside. You can see that long sideways range, difficult to read microstructures. So it's best for clarity to focus on the larger time frame. Just use the levels provided. Here on the smaller time frame, it can give us some orientation, but can sometimes, especially when we're dealing with diagonals, rather confuse, unless you're really a wave nerd like myself. Okay, that's the update on Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to join us on X for additional updates. There are some additional videos that are uploaded here, additional coins covered. Like today, I uploaded a video on AVAX, for example. So check it out. I've linked it in the description, but also in the comment section. I'm also there to answer questions if you have any. So check it out. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.